Princess Claire shocked Belgium with an unexpected and moving tribute to Queen Paola on National Day. A powerful, emotional gesture that rekindled memories and tensions hidden behind the walls of the royal palace. Discover the behind the scenes of this unforgettable moment, the secret bonds between the two women, and what it reveals about the future of the Belgian monarchy. Subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on what's happening behind the scenes with royalty. Share this video if you found it moving. And most importantly, leave a comment. What do you think of Claire's gesture toward Paola? On July 21st, Belgium dresses up in its finest to celebrate its National Day, but this year, a seemingly discreet detail captured the attention of the entire kingdom. A look, a raised hand, a straight silhouette in the shadow of another. That day, Princess Claire, usually discreet and out of the spotlight, stepped onto the media stage with breathtaking grace to pay a tribute of rare intensity to Queen Paola. A tribute that, in just a few seconds, aroused the deepest emotions of the Belgians. Nothing was planned, nothing had been announced, and yet, this silent gesture resonated like a cry from the heart, breaking the rigid codes of the Belgian monarchy. It all begins in the morning, during the traditional festivities. The royal family takes their seats, as they do every year, on the balcony of the royal palace in Brussels, waving to the crowd. King Philippe, dignified and focused, Queen Matilda, elegant as always, and at their side, the closest members of the family, including Princess Claire. Photographers are already noting her presence. For several years, Claire has appeared less frequently at major ceremonies. Her health, the personal choices of Prince Laurent, her husband, and certain internal tensions had contributed to the couple's relative discretion. Yet this year, Claire shines. Not with her dress or her makeup, but with the intensity of her gaze and the warmth of her gestures. Then comes the long-awaited moment, the arrival of Queen Paola. Weakened, but present, supported, but standing, she advances slowly toward her place of honor. The audience applauds her at length. The former queen, wife of Albert II, has over time become an almost sacred figure in the kingdom, embodying the values of duty, silence, and elegance. And it is at this precise moment that Princess Claire, breaking with protocol, calmly approaches. She says nothing. She extends her hand. She leans in slightly, as if to whisper a word that no camera will ever be able to capture. And then she tenderly kisses Paola's hand. A gesture of rare tenderness, almost ancient, almost sacred. A gesture that seems to erase years of silence, distance, and misunderstanding. This moment lasted only a few seconds, but it was immortalized by the cameras. It set social media ablaze. Commentators saw it as a reconciliation, a recognition, even a farewell. Because behind the beauty of the gesture lies a reality, Queen Paola's health is fragile. She has been hospitalized several times in recent years, suffered from neurological problems, and fatigue that is gradually distancing her from public life. Her appearance on this National Day was in itself a symbol of resilience, a last physical connection to a bygone era. But why is Claire's gesture so upsetting? The answer is complex, rooted in the twists and turns of the Belgian monarchy. For a long time, Princess Claire suffered from her invisibility. British by birth, married to Prince Laurent since 2003, she has always been perceived as a secondary figure, overshadowed by the tensions between her husband and the rest of the royal family. Laurent, King Philip's brother, is known for his escapades, his sometimes harsh criticism of the palace, and his controversial engagements. As a result, Claire was often kept away from major ceremonies, as if she bore, in spite of herself, her husband's supposed faults. And yet, in this gesture addressed to Paola, the complete opposite is true. Claire embodies respect, gratitude, and an unexpected form of filial love. For while the tensions between Lorenzo and Albert II are well known, the relationship between Claire and Paola was much less so. According to several close friends, Queen Paola always showed discreet respect for Claire, appreciating her discretion and her commitment to the family, despite the storms. In return, Claire found in Paola a figure of feminine authority to admire, both distant and deeply human. This bond, long hidden in silence, is now bursting into the open. What the cameras don't show are the misty eyes of some members of the public. What the photos don't capture are the silent handshakes among the royal attendants. What the images don't convey is the palpable tension between past and present, between the queen who was and the princess who might, one day, return to the limelight. Because after this moment, a question hangs in the air: is Princess Claire preparing a return to the forefront? Is this gesture a simple tribute or the prelude to a symbolic reintegration into the hearts of the Belgians? Discussions are in full swing. On television, royal experts are debating. Some call it a clever calculation, others see it as a sincere, purely human approach. But all agree on one point: Claire managed, in a few seconds, to move an entire country. She highlighted what official speeches avoid: aging, memory, and transmission. She showed that royalty, sometimes perceived as cold and distant, can vibrate with true emotions, with simple and moving gestures. Since that day, testimonies have poured in. Anonymous people say they cried upon seeing this image. Royal communications specialists praise the power of the symbol. And at the palace, no doubt, the backstage discussions are taking a different turn. Claire, who is said to have been in the background, is returning to people's hearts. Paola, who is thought to be invisible, is stepping back into the spotlight. Together, they embody two generations of women confronted with the duties of the throne, the pressures of protocol, and the wear and tear of time. But this gesture wasn't just moving. It also stirred memories. Those of a Belgium marked by past scandals, the absences of King Albert II, and criticism of the royal family's management. By paying tribute to Paola, Claire perhaps wanted to soothe these wounds, to remind the Belgians that behind the titles and pageantry, there are women, mothers, wives, human beings. She reminded them that the monarchy is not just an institutional legacy, but also a web of emotions, bonds, and memories. What if, deep down, this was the strength of the monarchy? Its ability to move a people not with speeches, but with a simple gesture. Watching Princess Claire lean into Paola's hand, the Belgians saw more than just two royal figures. They saw a transmission, a bow, a recognition. They saw, perhaps, the last time Paola would appear at a major public event. And they saw Claire, long ignored, become the heroine of a moment suspended in time. So, will this gesture change anything? History will judge. But one thing is certain. On July 21, 2025, in Brussels, the heart of Belgium beat faster. Thanks to a simple, almost furtive, yet infinitely powerful gesture. Thanks to a woman who, with a glance and a kiss on a queen's hand, was able to reconcile the past and the future. And you, do you think Princess Claire could regain a central place within the Belgian monarchy after this devastating moment?